Hello, everyone. Thanks for giving me this opportunity to talk on multi-party innovation ecosystem platforms based on my experience from Ethiopia. My name is Zelalem Lema, and I'm a recent PhD graduate from University of New England in Australia. And before my PhD, I have been uh, an expert on agriculture innovation systems, mainly supporting CGR centers in Ethiopia to establish innovation platforms, facilitate the interactions, and yeah, anything that has to do with innovation platforms. And I'm going to talk about a little bit background on innovation platforms and also draw some three lessons important to farmer centering on-farm experimentation. So to start with the background on innovation platforms, they are a set of diverse actors interacting to build relationship and co-innovate. So these actors are jointly coming together to identify and prioritize constraints and opportunities within a set of, within a value chain or a farming system. They aim to contribute, produce own knowledge, and also they try to jointly experiment with the knowledge or the technologies they come up with through mainly on-farm experimentation. And they test through on-farm experimentation through allowing farmers to use and evaluate and to get users feedback from farmers so that they can integrate that feedback to improve the innovations or enhance the effectiveness of the innovations. They also not only focus on farm level technologies, but also focus on more broader institutional and policy issues to create an enabling environment for smallholder farmers to use the technologies. So innovation platforms are bringing us from a shift from a linear transfer of technology approach towards more a systems-oriented approach. They are being used as a tools mainly increasingly in sub-Saharan Africa to operationalize the concept of agriculture innovation systems at local value chain or systems level. This network of factors are bringing innovation such as new products, new process, and new forms of organization into economic use. So they embrace inclusive and approach where researchers are only one source of knowledge and expertise among many actors. So towards co-production of knowledge, based on my experience with ILRI, we have been working within the broader dominant approach, which is a technology transfer approach within Ethiopia, or mainly also in sub-Saharan Africa, where we push agriculture technologies and interventions to farmers, and researchers are remains the main source of knowledge. So without engaging stakeholders, we mostly ended up with less adopted technologies. And but with the innovation platform approach we implemented in Ethiopia, we come up with engaging stakeholders through innovation platforms and to co-innovate together and ensure the technologies that are coming up through innovation platforms are sustaining with use of farmers. So as you can see here, farmers have been mobilized to do a campaign on soil bund constructions to reverse soil erosions on the mountainous of Ethiopian highlands. And we try to integrate within this existing practices with innovation platforms to come up with grasses that are deep rooted to maintain the soil erosion, stabilize the soil band, at the same time providing a good biomass of quality forage for their livestock, which help farmers to generate some income from using the livestock. So empowering and engaging actors will always help us achieve sustainability and improve livelihood. But when we push agriculture technologies and interventions, we often achieve short-term quotas. So practical experience with multi-level IPs. I have been working with Africa Rising before my PhD, which was led by International Livestock Research Institute. and implemented by 9 CGR centers. Phase 1 was implemented between 2012 and 16, and phase 2 is currently scaling the innovations that has been achieved through these innovation platforms. This multi-level innovation platform is established at national, district, and community level, and as you can see here, they are all interlinked and trying to also address institutional and organizational barriers above farm level. So my PhD research was mainly to evaluate their effectiveness in terms of fostering livestock innovations. So my PhD work has identified and analyzed innovation platform activities or innovation process that has happened during this period. And I try to do an in-depth investigation into the co-innovation process from the design phase up to scaling. So this research was conducted 2 years after the completion of the IPs, which give us to examine farmers' sustained use of innovations, linking the process with the outcome. So this is a timeline that I developed from the innovation platform activities, and it has 2 main phases. One is the initiation phase and the implementation phase. During this initiation phase, it is mainly identifying stakeholders, establishing the innovation platforms, and diagnosing problems and constraints. This is implementing the different interventions through on-farm experimentations, and it includes reflexive evaluations and joint evaluations. The 3 lessons are mainly related to power and farmers' local knowledge and institutional, which is higher level. So the first lesson that I draw from this, from my experience, is that we identified that innovation platforms have there is the existence of power dynamics. So researchers largely remain as the main source of innovation, resources such as budget and decision making. Farmers and other actors often also perceive researchers as the only source of knowledge, and this legitimizes researchers to dominate. So the second lesson is related to farmers' local knowledge, which was received limited attention because researchers tend to overlook farmers' existing knowledge. They often, instead of building on from the beginning on farmers' local knowledge, they brought predetermined technical solutions, and they also there is no strategy also to combine local knowledge with scientific knowledge. So after on-farm testing, there was also an opportunity to get that farmers' feedback as a technology users, which was also not fully integrated to inform the direction of the innovation process. All this led to a technical fixation of the problem by experts or researchers, and other actors remain truly unengaged in the co-innovation principles. Finally, the third lesson is the challenge of embedding new approaches within the existing established institution. This is related to Ken's point about loose couplings, solving hierarchies issues. So multi-level IPs were designed and implemented to solve the hierarchies of issues, especially issues related to access to inputs and service for smallholder farmers. So often these institutional organizational barriers remain unaddressed due to focus on local actors to address farm level issues related to productivity. So the main objective of the project, as well as the actors, were focusing on increasing the productivity of the farm. These problems are related to externally driven innovation process, conflict between allowing the process to evolve at the pace of stakeholders versus the need for outcome within a specific short period of time of the project. So the suggested solutions I have is first recognizing the existing of systemic power dynamics within IPs, because these approaches often engage powerful and less powerful actors. This requires deep cultural change among all actors regarding how co-innovation works in practical terms. Second, joint exploration that recognize farmers' knowledge and open to emerging issues instead of predetermined agenda. This includes also being open to learn from our failure. The third one is engaging higher-level actors from the outset. So this helps us align with higher-level government projects and activities with the innovation platform activities, because this will help us ensure sustainability and scaling of the practice, as well as also the innovation that comes through innovation platforms. That's my talk, and thank you for listening.